Hey, welcome back. We're going to continue on from the last video where we went over scripting basics. And in this video, we're going to go over how to interact with the world in Roblox with scripts. So let's get started. We'll start by properties. Every game object has properties. These properties could be attributes like name or size, and they can also be built-in functions and even be specific events, which we will get into later. If you're not familiar with Studio yet, you can manually change an object's property, in this case a part, by going into View and opening up the Properties window. In here, you'll find all the possible attributes you can change. For example, we can change the transparency of it, or the color, or even the name. In the Explorer window, you can see the structure of your game. It contains multiple services. We're just going to worry about the workspace for now. But let's get back to properties. To access them in a script, we first must reference the part. We have several ways to do so I'll show you a few. We can reference the part relative to the workspace. Since it is a descendant of the workspace, we start with referencing the workspace itself by using the keyword or getting it as a service from the global game object. We can now use the dot operator to go down a level in the hierarchy and access the part using its name. We can also chain it to access any descendants, for example, if we need to access something inside the part. Another way to reference objects like our part is by referencing it relative to the script. To do so, we usually have the script in the part, and then we start by using the script keyword, which references itself. Then we can utilize the parent property that every game object has to go up a level in the hierarchy. In this case, the script's parent is the part we're trying to reference, so accessing the parent property references the part directly. Parent is not the only property we can access. We can also access all the other ones you see here, same way, using the dot operator. Once we're able to access a property, we can reassign it to a new value. For example, I can change the color here, and as you can see, once the script runs, it changes the color of the part. We can also access methods that are built into the part. These methods allow us to do things with the part that we otherwise wouldn't be able to do, just messing with their properties. For example, a common one is deleting the part by invoking destroy. Notice to call them, we use the colon operator. And if I run it, you can see that the part gets deleted from the workspace, which means you wouldn't be able to reference it in scripts anymore. It also has other helpful methods. For example, searching for a child with a certain name, we can use find first child, or in other cases, we might need to wait for certain parts to load before we can access them, so we use wait for child. Now let's get into events. Events are just signals that trigger when something specific happens. Scripting is event driven, so a lot of your code will be centered around handling behavior for when a certain one occurs. For example, printing hello when this part is touched. Touched in this case is the name of the event, and we are connecting it to a function. We reference it like any other property, then call connect using the colon once more and pass in the function's name. The function must be defined before the event. We can also connect an anonymous function to it, which is pretty common. Just like how you can connect them, you can also disconnect them. To do so, you would store the result of the connection into a variable, then you can disconnect it whenever you need to. As you can see, once the part is touched, it only runs once, as we disconnect it right away. When events call your methods that you connected to them, they're going to pass default arguments that are relevant to the event. For example, earlier when we used the touched event, the first argument is the part that was touched. There are a lot more events to explore and experiment with, and if you reference some of the services in your game, like the player service, you reference it through get service by the way, you can connect it to events it has like player added, and now you can do something when a player joins the game. Try finding the event for when the player's character spawns and connect a function to it. Hint, it's under the player object. And that is it. Make sure you check the documentation. I'll link in the description down below as always. In the next video, I'll give you an intro to server client scripting and some more services. If you have any suggestions or questions, you can always leave them down below or come check out the Discord server. Thanks for watching. See ya.